Hey, what's up guys? This is KDCloudy, and after 30 full days of use, this is my review of the iPhone 12. Not the mini, not the Pro Max, just the regular 12. Let's get started. Now the iPhone 12 kind of, to me, feels like a very minimalist phone, and I say that because a lot of these other Android expensive phones have this a very excessive grandiose vibe, with curved screens and like 4 or 5 different cameras and shimmery looks. It's fine, but the subtle straightforward look which the iPhone 12 goes for, I am a fan of. And it's very well translated through the flat lines, flat edges, the flat screen. I really like it. It actually feels like a proper smartphone and not like a luxury item, although it's priced like one. And of course it feels premium in your hand. The metal, the precisely milled camera square, all of it comes together in this beautiful form factor and this very sleek package, which is awesome to hold. And the size also is very ideal, I think, for most people. And if you really want small phones, you can go for the mini, but I think this is the ideal size. But you know what? All of this talk about the industrial design and how great the flat edges are kind of becomes pointless the moment you put a case on it. And let's face it, everybody's gonna put a case on it. It's an iPhone, and the moment you put a case on it, this might as well be an iPhone 11. There's no way to tell, unless of course you turn it back around, look at the front of it, and bring your attention to the display. The display is a huge upgrade from its predecessors, the 10R and the 11, which had the infamous 720p LCD displays. This year, Apple just went all in with 1080p OLEDs on all of their iPhones, which is something I definitely appreciate, and most people will appreciate too. And having a good display, it's not just watching HDR content and pixel peeping. This is small things. Your UI looks a lot better, your wallpapers look a lot better, your photos which you took with your camera look a lot better, and watching TV series or movie shows is an absolute bliss. Combined with the stereo speakers which support spatial audio, all of it comes together as this media consumption powerhouse, and I've said that previously. But yeah, one thing though, not having high refresh rate is kind of a bummer. But you know what? The excellent calibration, the color quality, the color accuracy makes up for the lack of high refresh rate. I don't mind it. It's not a deal breaker for me, but could be for you. Okay, we have talked about the display, easily my favorite part of the iPhone 12. Let's talk about my second favorite part of the iPhone 12, the cameras. Now the cameras on the iPhone 12, surprise surprise, are very good. I've had an excellent time clicking some amazing shots with the iPhone 12, and at this point Apple has gathered so much experience. They're like a seasoned player, and all their years of experience and their prowess in the mobile photography area has culminated into this very strong and capable imaging system on the iPhone 12. And for a person who has an iPhone 12, they would feel confident and comfortable shooting pictures. It made me take more photos than usual because I know that whatever it's going to shoot, it's going to turn out great. But you know what? Enough of that talk, let's take a look at some samples. Daytime shots look absolutely amazing. There is very good dynamic range, there's plenty of sharpness, and there is a good balance of contrast too. And as far as the colors and the skin tones go, it goes for a very lifelike look. It does go a little bit on the warmer side in terms of white balance, but you know what, I'm very happy with the camera on the iPhone 12. Portrait mode is great as well, but this not having a telephoto camera just takes wide portrait shots, which I'm not really a fan of. The edge detection could take some work sometimes, and low light photography or night mode is also pretty excellent. There is little to no noise. It retains colors. It doesn't desaturate anything. It's just great. Now the ultra wide camera though is fun to shoot with, especially in daytime shots, but as the light starts to reduce, it kind of starts to struggle, and it's within the ultra wide camera where you get to see the first bit of noise from the iPhone 12. But you know what, it's fine. Now I will say that I was kind of disappointed by the front camera because I was so spoiled by the excellent performance of the main camera. The front camera, the selfies, they start to look soft in front of the main camera. They don't really have that much dynamic range. It's sort of soft, like I said, and it doesn't perform the best when it comes to low light. But you know what, maybe my expectations were way too high. For a selfie camera, you know what, it's actually fine. Video is also something iPhones excel at, and don't worry, I'll shut up about Dolby Vision and HDR because I made a totally separate video about it. But even standard dynamic range video is absolutely excellent, and I was very amazed by, you know, the dynamic range control in the scene, the deep fusion and whatever smart HDR tricks it does. And stabilization is also so on point, both on the front camera and on the rear camera. And audio, the stereo audio is absolutely amazing. I do wish that there was a toggle or a button of some sort to, you know, turn on or off HDR video right beside the resolution and frame rate controls. That would be nice. So maybe you throw a software update, we'll see. Overall, like I said, the iPhone 12 has an excellent set of cameras, and it's sort of one of those cameras which will make you take more photos because it's just so good. Now let's talk about performance. And to be honest, talking about performance kind of feels pointless because everyone knows it's fast, and this is supposed to be the fastest phone, like the fastest phone, because, you know, 5nm and the A14 Bionic and whatnot. And it's true, daily performance is absolutely super responsive, super smooth. Now the point is that it doesn't matter how fast the iPhone 12 is today. What matters is that how fast it's going to be in like 4 or 5 years when all other phones are on that last leg. But the iPhone 12 will be still alive and kicking just because how powerful and future-proof the A14 Bionic chip is. That's what it is about, longevity. And performance is much more of a long-term statement than a short-term one. But if you care about the short-term performance, I played a little bit of Call of Duty Mobile, and say what you will about the game, I'm kind of a noob when it comes to gaming. But yeah, I tried it, cranked it all the way up to max settings, and it did not drop a single frame. So that was great. And yeah, like I said, stereo speakers provide an excellent ambiance when it comes to media consumption. So gaming experience is also excellent. But yeah, you cannot play Call of Duty all day unless you have solid battery life to back it all up. And the iPhone 12's battery life is actually fairly good. I easily get like 7 hours of screen on time and make it through the entire day on lightweight use. And before going to bed, I just drop it on the wireless charger and wake up to 100%. So that's great. Although it's not quite enough to, you know, fulfill my late night movie watching sessions, so I do need to recharge it before watching a movie or before I start to binge on Netflix. And there are times when you know your usage is heavier than usual, like playing Call of Duty or taking a lot of photos or capturing HDR video. Those are the days when I get like 5 hours of screen on time, which is fine, pretty good. So yeah, although you're not getting stellar battery life, you're getting actually pretty good, pretty solid battery life. And all I want is to make it through an entire day without worrying about a power bank. And that's what the iPhone 12 delivers. Okay, right now I want to talk a little bit about, you know, the iOS experience, since this is my first time using an iPhone, and there were some interesting things and some things which I definitely missed from Android. Some like small niche things like the notification channels. You had more fine grain of control over things. The automatic rotation button which would pop up, that was pretty neat. And yeah, these are the little small things which I do miss from Android, and I do have some complaints about iOS which I really hope get fixed over the years. Firstly, the DPI is way too high. It's the text, the icons, all of it feels too big for me. I tried reducing the text size, but it still doesn't solve all of the other UI elements from being too big. I hope that gets fixed. Secondly, the Apple TV app, it's bad. It's just bad. There's no way around it. Every single time I tap on a movie or a TV show, it just loads up vertically. Who watches vertical video? And the moment I turn on rotation lock, it just switches back to vertical. It's crazy. Just give me landscape video. How's that so difficult? And there are some things which an Android convert would have a hard time getting used to, like there is no system-wide back button. All of the back buttons are like embedded in apps. Like that's something which will trip people off. And it's those muscle memory things which I talked about, which constitute of the learning curve. And for example, if you have dual SIM on an Android phone, you press dial and then it'll give you the choice of which SIM do you want to call from. In iOS, you need to select the SIM before hitting the dial button. It's stuff like that. It might throw you off at first, but eventually you'll get used to it. And there are some plenty of other great things about iOS which you just won't find on Android. Firstly, the whole continuity ecosystem stuff, AirDrop, handoff, all that stuff is excellent. And there's the Shortcuts app, which is awesome. In the overall app ecosystem, the quality of apps is just so much better on iOS than on Android. Everything is so much smoother and responsive, and I don't know why is that, but the app experience is just better on iOS. And then there is Animoji, which it's fine, and it's sometimes fine to play around with, but I don't use iMessage that much, so it's there. And also something which I finally can do now that I have an iPhone is have dancing Michael Scott as my live wallpaper. It's pretty amazing. And Face ID is fine too. It actually feels pretty seamless, and I like it better than Touch ID on my iPad. But yeah, I guess that's basically it. I think I've covered everything. I've had an excellent time with the iPhone 12, with the display and the camera being my favorite features, and the value doesn't really translate that well into Indian rupees, so yeah, maybe look out for a price cut. But yeah, I just love the iPhone 12. I think it's the most refined version of the iPhone itself, with the original quintessential design and all these things, and I think it's giving you the most value you've ever had in a non-pro iPhone. Maybe I'm just crazy, but yeah, I love it, and I guess this is the first iPhone good enough to make me switch. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.